Brandon, we have a special guest joining us on the Paper Route set. This is the first time it's happened. Are you excited?
I'm super excited. It's our first time doing it on Paper Route.
Mm-hmm.
This is the vision, right? On the backside of House of Athlete, we got our studio and
Shedeur Sanders. Listen, by the background, I know y'all may think he's a model, but he's an athlete first.
Definitely a model.
This one looks like an album cover.
Part-time
model.
Yeah, that picture more like up to date though. That one's more like before.
Okay, so I see it. It seemed like you confident.
Yeah.
You know, you got the jewelry on. I like the hair.
Yeah.
The beard, all of that. What's your go-to pose?
It just depends.
I'll give you mine. Here's my go-to pose. I do this right here.
That's his go. Oh, when I say go-to,
that's it. That's all I got.
that's his bag.
I don't know. It just depends on how I'm feeling. If I got them jewels on, not. It just depends. It depends on what I'm doing. Like if I'm with kids, if I'm just out like in public, if I'm putting it on. Like it just depends.
You putting it on? You going to Sexy Fish tonight?
Don't put this man's business out here.
No, don't worry about it. We'll be gone.
Yeah, that's right.
Nah, I'm chilling. Tonight, I'm chilling.
I know, but before you go, you got your wide receivers. Y'all working out.
Yeah, we
put on
vlog.
some clothes. Got a couple, something light on, a little chain or two.
Yeah, it'll be on the vlog, dropping them all.
Okay.
Who dresses better, quarterbacks or wide receivers?
I mean, I can't speak on that. I know
we have this conversation all the time.
I only can speak on me.
Okay.
And I ain't no fool. So
quarterbacks dress better than wide receivers.
Well, I can't say the overall statement. I can say what I would do though.
Okay.
Personally.
Well, speaking of what you would do, you and Brandon were getting to a nice little discussion. He was taken aback by the fact that you only drink juice, and he almost passed out from shock.
Oh yeah.
He was not feeling it.
I drink like some water, for sure, but like I drink juice, like pure natural juice.
Who told you that drinking more juice is more important than drinking more water?
Nobody did.
I mean, you're a smart guy. I mean, do you know the body is made up of?
Yeah. So that's why I drink like enough for the body to be good.
You need to be drinking a gallon or two a day. You drinking a gallon or two water a day?
Honestly, no, I'm not.
Please zoom in on Brandon's face right now.
That's been something, strength staff, everybody, pushing me to get there.
Right.
So that's something, honestly, that I'm working on.
So the first person, I carry, I obviously got this little water here with the body armor, but, I carry this around every single day. And the first person that I saw carrying like a gallon of water, a jug, was Russell Wilson. Mm-hmm. I was already in the water. I was drinking, but I was walking around with a bunch of these, drinking 12, 16 of these a day. And when I got to Seattle, Russ was literally walking around with his jug. And that's what made me adopt that, right? And so I bring that up to ask you the question, where do you think you're at when it comes to being a pro and taking care of your body? It took me until year 5, year 6 in the league to actually start incorporating those things, whether it's massage, whether it's you were at TB12 today with, on the table getting your arm worked on and your body worked on. Yeah. So where do you think you're at in that process?
On a scale?
Well, just period. How much do you invest in taking care of your body? We're talking about water. We're talking about juice.
Nah, for sure. I invest in my body a lot, a lot. I make sure every time I go on the field, I feel 100% going out there, whether it's icing, treatment, small band work, lightweight work, that type of stuff matters. And I take that stuff more serious than past I did in the weight room actually.
Yeah.
So then that's why this year I feel like everything's getting put together. Because that weight room factor, that conditioning factor is all, I'll say, it's being pushed real hard right now.
Right.
So that's why I see this season, this year, everything going to be together.
We spoke to Von Miller at Radio Row in Phoenix, and he said that, young guys, especially when they first get into the league, they don't have to invest as much. You're young, your body's, supple. You don't have to go ahead and invest those $500,000, $350,000, the $1 million that Russell Wilson does with his body. But I wonder, how hard is it to break certain habits? You're used to doing certain things in high school and maybe early in, your college days, and they work for you. But now that you're starting to transition and you're starting to think pro, and you're starting
You
to
heard
think
what he
about
said
that
earlier?
next chapter.
He said my career.
Right, your
Before
career.
we even started the show.
And you said certain things are starting to be drilled into you, into your mind, and into your habits. How hard is it to break certain things that have always worked for you, but now you got to think a little bit differently because your body is about to be a walking enterprise?
I mean, I never had really bad habits. Like, I don't snack. I don't eat bad quality food. Like the habits that all I got to obtain now, like that they're preaching on me, is easy stuff. So it's not really any bad habits or anything I got to break. All it is just, okay, this is the recipe, what it takes to get to the next level, so I'm going to follow and use the instructions.
Let me ask you this question. You know, this is my first time being around you in person. Obviously followed you guys back in the day when y'all had reality show and through Instagram, social. You guys do a great job there. I'm curious, bro, like what type of I think I know what type of person you are from afar. Seem like an amazing young man. You know, Pops did a phenomenal job. Mom did a phenomenal job. But, like, what type of ball player are you? That's what I'm interested in. Like, who are you on the field?
I mean, I'm not the type of person to just speak on myself, you know. Like, that's something that you ask teammates and stuff like that. Me, if I tell you, it's going to come off cocky. So, like, somebody else has to be able to explain that to you, how I am on the field. But I'll say for sure locked in for a purpose. I'm not going out there for no reason. I'm not throwing routes for no reason. When we do team events, it's for a purpose. And everybody has to have that extreme focus, or we're wasting time. We're doing what 90% of everybody else going on fields is doing. Because everybody has the same thing when we go on the field. We all running, we all lifting, we all doing the same thing. It's just like the depth and direction of what we're doing, and that's what focus is.
Well, let me ask it this way. Growing up, for me, I grew up playing running back. And in elementary and middle school, watching Barry Foster, some of the dudes that played for the Steelers, and then my idol was Barry Sanders outside of my dad. Like, back then, I thought that not only could I make it to the NFL, I thought I could be the next Barry Sanders. You know what I'm saying? So for you, I respect that. You can't talk about it. You shouldn't talk about yourself. But what's your dreams? Where do you see yourself in 5, 10 years? Are you looking at Patrick Mahomes? Do you think you could be the next Patrick Mahomes or better? Like, when you dream and you sit back, what comes up?
Well, no, I can't say, because I don't really compare my game to a lot of people like on the field right now. I feel like it's a mixture of people. Like, and that's what I actually sat down and thought about. Me and my quarterback coach, like, what type of playing style do I have? Like, and it's not like a solid person that my style and their style is the same. Like, it's just not.
What pieces of what quarterback do you think apply to your game?
Well, I say for sure, just like the determination of Tom Brady. Like, of course, it's Brady brand. That's why we
the Brady mentality.
Yeah, the Brady brand. Yeah,
that's right.
It's a whole Brady brand right here. But yeah, for sure, him. I'm able to escape, to move around, to run when I need to, and like that's it. So everything just comes like real natural to me.
Whose game do you love and admire? Who do you watch the most?
Well, for sure, I like Tom. Like, I grew up watching Justin Fields, though. Honestly, like, when he was at Georgia, I went on a visit with him, met him there, just talked to him and stuff like that. And he always been, like, a good person, good friend. Yeah. So.
Want to dive into your new chapter. You know, there's a video going around on the internet of you throwing an absolute dime to Travis Hunter at spring practice. And, you know, you're making the transition following your dad from Jackson State. You're now in Colorado. What is going to be the biggest transition, do you think, for you going from that program, an HBCU program, to now a larger scale program?
The altitude.
The altitude, really? Yeah. I've heard that before.
The altitude different.
You know, I played in Denver. Yeah, that was low key a flex though, a little cocky.
What you mean?
The only thing is altitude.
Yeah.
The linebackers ain't a little bit bigger.
No,
the corners ain't a little faster.
They definitely are.
Maybe it's debatable.
Yeah. I mean, listen, Colorado right now the season tickets for the program are virtually sold out if they have not already sold out. So there's going to be a lot of eyes on this program. It's much bigger. There's a lot more funding behind it. We talk about this often, how HBCUs don't get the same type of funding. So it's going to be a different lens, a different microscope.
Yeah.
Any apprehensiveness on your end about that?
I mean, the microscope is far over there. I'm focused on, you know, me and my camp and my team and stuff like that. Like, by the time week 1 comes, like, I'm going to have my guys ready to, you know, to get out there and play. So This is the time right now just to build the relationships, to really learn about your teammates, know what you could trust, like have them be able to trust you, any type of situation. So it's really just bonding right now is the time for bonding, working out, training.
How do you guys do that? Because we spoke, Russell Wilson, famously built the practice field, I believe, in the back of his one of his mega mansions. Dak Prescott has done the same thing. He brings the guys over. When we spoke to Von Miller, he actually has, all the guys at his house. Same thing with Josh Allen, because Buffalo, there's not much to do. So what do you guys do to bond?
He already has that.
Yeah, I don't.
He grew up.
We got like 100-some acres, so like the football field ain't nothing.
No, but I'm saying, okay, y'all have that.
That football field,
I was just
not saying football field, sauna, housekeeping.
So everyone's over your house, and that's how
I just walked
bond.
in.
We got the pools,
Yeah.
the outside grills, like whatever you need.
It's prime time land.
I walked in TB12's space, and he was on the table. He was talking to Pops, and he threw me the phone. What did you call him? What did you say? Here's what? You said,
Coach. Oh, here's Prime time. Here's Coach Prime.
Yeah, here's Coach Prime. So I talked to Coach, and we were just talking about the summer. And I was asking where they're going to go. He was like, right here. We got a field in the back. Like, he literally just said that. But that is a good question. Like, how do you approach it? What's your mindset? Do you learn from these quarterbacks that are doing it? What are you taking from them, and how do you incorporate that into how you bring the guys together?
Right, because you are entering a new relationship, essentially.
That's right.
Some may be existing, but some are brand new. So how do you cultivate that?
I mean, I feel like regardless of what level you're at, people's people at the end of the day, So, like, what a person in the league is doing with another person in the league, they're both human. So what I've been doing with my prior teammates and, like, with my new teammates, like, it's still going to continue to be the same thing. So, like, it just depends. Like, everybody's different, like, with the different position groups. Like, O-lineman, we'll figure out something in Colorado. Like, whether we just go get an Airbnb, go up to a mountain for a weekend, chill. Or, like, with the receivers to where we out, we training, we go to Houston, Miami, Dallas, like, wherever.
Yeah. So let's push forward to this upcoming season. Ashley just said there's a lot of new, right?
Yeah.
What's the goals for the team? And I know what you about to give
it's
me.
To win.
Around Pops.
No. What you think I'm gonna give you?
You gonna give me? Look, man, I'm focused on today.
No, hey, I wasn't even gonna say all that. See, that's assuming though.
I was.
You can't do that though.
Okay, so give me the answer. Don't give me the political answer. What's the goal?
The goal is to win.
Win what?
Everything, every game. What else? Like, you think honestly, I'm training. Everybody's training in the hot sun, cold air up there, high altitude. To lose?
Right.
Like, I don't think that's like no.
But is it a reality?
I ain't gonna lie. I really don't like them type of questions. Cause like, who trains to lose though? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, it boils down to, okay, I got great players, you got great players. Who's gonna execute the best?
Right. But is it a reality for y'all? Y'all just got there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You and Pops just got there.
Yeah.
Do y'all even have the guys to do it? Like, I think y'all got, the energy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all might have a philosophy.
Yeah.
Might have a quarterback.
Yeah.
But do you got all the receivers you need? Are you protected?
Yeah, that's
you know what I'm saying?
There.
Defense.
That's there.
That's there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I mean, on the topic of quarterbacks and your dad, there was, a moment where your dad gave an interview and he spoke about what the ideal quarterback, what situation they come from. And he says, a 2-parent home, you want them to have a high GPA, you want them to have this, you want them to have that. Faced a lot of backlash. Some people agreed, some people didn't. What are your takes on what the ideal quarterback should be, and do you agree with that?
I can't say that because, I got both parents in my life. My GPA been high. So, like, his philosophy is his philosophy. I ain't got nothing to do with his philosophy because I'm the quarterback in the situation.
Right.
So, like, however they go about it, that's how they go about it.
Do you think, taking your dad out of the equation, just overall the landscape of the NFL, do you think there are unfair expectations of certain positions than there are for others? Like, you defensive linemen, you don't really expect them to have X, Y, and Z, but quarterbacks have to have all of this. We look at the draft also. Defensive players kind of get away with sometimes making mistakes before the draft and people will overlook them. But quarterbacks, it's, oh no, he can't lead a franchise. He did this in college. Do you think there's truth to that?
Nah, I definitely understand why, though. The quarterback's the face of the team. Simple. Like, if the quarterback good, the team going to be good. If not, then it's not. So, like, if you got – I get what you're saying, how it could possibly not be fair. But at the end of the day, like, they're investing so much in that position, so you have no choice but to keep, like, your face clean, face card clean, everything clean.
Listen, I played 13 years in the NFL, bro. I did some cool things.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I don't really get starstruck. You know, I like Jay-Z. I like Obama. I like Oprah. There's a couple of people. Ellen DeGeneres. But, bro, like, your pops is Deion Sanders.
Prime time.
Like, how? Like, I'm gonna just fanboy out real quick. Like, how was it growing up as your pops as Prime?
I mean, I went to school. I did the things normal guys would do. Like, he's just a cool guy.
Did they used to ask you to do the dance when you were in
Nah,
school?
See, they wouldn't even play with me like that. They wouldn't even play with me like that.
See, I love y'all relationship, bro. It's like, it's hard. You know what I mean? That's why I even asked that question. I think there's some cool things and some cool moments if we had more time that you could, you know, take us through. But what I love about y'all relationship is that, you know, you're your own man.
Yeah.
Your brothers and your sisters, they're their own people. You know what I mean? And he celebrates y'all. Y'all celebrate each other. And it's hard, right? Like, it's like LeBron and Bronny.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's a lot of pressure. Like, even as you asked the question earlier, like, you know, it's pressure. You know what I mean? You got tickets sold out.
But that's the thing, though. Like, even with that type of stuff, going to HBCU, it was pressure. But it wasn't worldwide pressure with everybody.
The microscope was different.
Yeah, like the microscope was different. But at the same time, it's still pressure. Now, that's like you fighting somebody, right? You fight somebody one-on-one. Then you fight somebody in front of 1,000 people. Then 10,000. Like, at the end of the day, you fighting that same person is what I'm saying. You still going out for a match. So, like, the pressure and stuff, it been there. It doesn't matter what, like, magnitude the pressure's on. It's like you're either going to execute or you're not. Like, that's simple what it is. People make it different, though, like going from place to place. But at the end of the day, it's football. Like, it's a place where the plays are almost the same. Everything's the same. It's just a different field and different jerseys.
Well, you know what's different from when you were in college and when he was in college? The money.
That money.
We got to dive into the money a little bit.
I never even said that.
We got to dive into the money a little bit because 2022, you signed a deal with Gatorade. First college athlete out of an HBCU to do so. Huge brand. You think of some of the biggest athletes in the world have had Gatorade brand. Beat by Dre.
Brady brand.
Brady brand by the GOAT himself, Tom freaking Brady.
This is my favorite merch right
like,
for real, Brady?
Yeah.
Like, you just took the bag, or it feel good, the quality?
See, but that's I'll never sell my soul. Like, that's something I won't never do. So it's like, with them, I talk to them. I'm like, okay, this is what I like, this is what I don't like. Like, these the items, like, I like wearing and stuff like that. So then they just make and just send it to me. Right. So it's like, I actually enjoy wearing Brady brand, like, every day.
I want to dive into the...
I really haven't worn anything else since, like, I've been down here. Yeah.
I like that, though.
The box at the hotel.
You believe in it. I want to dive into the concept of NIL a little bit because when, you know, this law was first passed, you know, a lot of people had some things to say about it. They said it was going to be unfair, that not everybody was going to be able to make X amount of money, you know, if they weren't the star, they didn't come from a big program. There were some people who don't believe that college athletes should be making money, whether on the field, off the field, that their job is to go ahead and be a student and also play the game. What do you want to say to those critics who are anti-NIL?
I mean, it could go both ways. I can't really say anything to them because I understand what they're saying and I understand what we're saying, like, as players. But, like, it's just a fine line between it. Like, it just depends on your character. Like, if you getting paid all this money and you one of them players that just talk crazy and act crazy, like, and flex and flaunt your teammates, then you're a bad teammate and people not gonna want to be around you. So I feel like that's where they was trying to protect, like, a lot of college athletes from that. And, like, you know, you getting all this money at a young age. It's over with. You having fun. You not being as focused no more. So it just depends, like, on who's getting it and, like, the mindset they have and knowing, like, the money that we getting right now is short. It ain't nothing compared to the league.
What's your pushback to people who say, well, if you have the last name James, or Sanders, or you're at a, one of the top schools in the country, obviously your NIL opportunities are going to be drastically more than someone who goes to an FAU or UCF.
Yeah.
What's your pushback against that?
I mean, just come, walk a day in the shoes. Come, like, understand the expectation and the pressure and all this stuff, like, each and every day, everywhere you go. Even when you're going out to eat, like, understand you can't be seen in the light in a certain way. You can't do a lot of things everybody else can do. So, like, people say they want the life, but not knowing what the life, like, what it take to maintain and do everything like that.
How much time do you and Pops spend on those conversations? Like, I feel like that's the advantage, right? Pops being able to sit back and be like, yo, this is how you supposed to move because this is how I moved, or I didn't move this way.
See, that's the thing, though.
Right.
Like, he old school, man. Me, it's real militant, man. Everything I do, is legendary. So it's a difference, though.
What's the difference? What you mean? Explain.
It's a different time.
Like, it's a different time, like, on what I do and what he do. That's why these conversations be funny. Because it's like, I know what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, on majority of things I do.
Yeah.
And, like, the sense that he's telling me, I heard him before, just talk and stuff like that.
So, I hear him all the time.
I'm, like, more well-rounded. I'm a well-rounded, better version.
So, he ain't sitting back. I love that. That's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
The next generation supposed to be better. Yeah. But I see some of his content coming out, and he's like, yo, you going home. Don't go to the clubs like this. No drinking and driving. Make sure y'all do boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
So you're not having those conversations in the crib? He don't got to come to you and say, yo, you going to Miami, you working.
Yeah, nah, I mean, one, we don't live together. We both got separate estates, but
estates. He didn't say houses. He didn't say apartments, condos,
I can't with you, bro. You worse than Pops. I can't with you.
Nah, we different, but I mean, now we don't have to have those conversations because we, like, I know what's on the line. I know, just talking to the resource and everybody around, like. And it's definitely, the main thing is just the people around you. That could either make you or break you.
I mean, we spoke about
big.
We've spoke about this with the John Morant situation, and that was one of the things. We said it's the people around you that can make or break you, assets and liabilities. And of course, it helps to have someone, your dad who's been through it. Obviously, the times are drastically different.
Pops, though, like
your path is different.
Everybody know that, like, their parents, of course, they're gonna say this, but like, if you got strong-minded individuals around you, like, that don't do the things that other people do, like, I don't really hang around people that just drink like that. Like, I don't. Because, like, I don't drink. They don't drink. So why?
Right.
What's it?
Right.
So how do you?
It's very mature, though.
It's just definitely, like, just being in your right mind at all times, because then it could be a situation. You're not on point. You're not on everything. Your reaction to everything is slow because you're drunk. You could be driving. You could, kill somebody. You could do. It's a lot of things and factors, variables that come in with just drinking, and it don't be worth it because you're going to go to sleep and wake up and be a regular person.
So Ashley talked about this earlier, like you're one of the first athletes when this whole NIL movement, so you're really a pioneer. So what's the greatest piece of advice you can give to the young athletes following you?
Just stay focused, because like when that money hit, then you're going to want to do a lot of things, but you understand that this money right now is nothing compared to what it's going to be in the league, then you'll be straight.
Right. Hey, listen, I know we got to let you go here. I said 17 minutes and 30 seconds.
What's the time?
And now we're at, what you think it is?
Man.
I'm going to go 25.
It's 25.50. I got to let you go. All right, but real quick, it's reported that you are the #1 grossing NIL athlete, right? There's Bronny, then there's you. Can you confirm if
or deny?
Is it you #1, then Bronny, or is it Bronny #1 or you too? Because it says 7 million is where Bronny's at.
You can also plead the fifth.
Nah, I'm not gonna do that to y'all. Like, I don't know like what other people's making. I don't know. I only know,
So what's in your bank account?
Why though? It's credit cards, man. We don't do that.
Credit
what you
line.
mean? Why?
Credit
it's when you get to the league, it's gonna be public information.
What is?
Your contract and what you're making.
Yeah.
You don't want to tell us now?
Yet. I'm not in the league yet, so.
You ever go to dinner with dad and your family? They be like, "It's on you tonight." You ever?
Oh yeah, all the time.
You pick up the bill?
It just depends. like with Pops, it just depends. Like if it hit over with him, he's different. We like I say, we're similar but we different though. Me, I like the bougie stuff. Him, he'll eat whatever almost. But then like, you know, I like steak. I eat that like 2-3 times a week. Him, he like, dawg, if we go out to eat and there's 5 of us and the bill over 300, not 300, that was back then. More like 400.
Right.
He ain't coming back for a minute.
I love it.
He not coming back for a minute, bro. I'm telling you. I done been with him like plenty of times. And everybody in the family know when that bill come out and it's over a certain amount.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, this is the last time I had this.
Right.
For sure.
You're one of the first. You know, we talked about Neil.
Yeah.
I think you're going to do amazing. I know you're going to do amazing things this year. I think you're going to do amazing things at the next level. The way you think, your maturity now, I do believe Pops, Mom, the whole environment had a lot to do with that. But also you're your own person. You know what I'm saying? You're special. And so, like, I'm excited to watch your career. And you're also a pioneer on paper route.
And you're very mature for your age, which is always a plus and will definitely come in handy. Sometimes it takes you years of trial and error to figure out who should be around you, what things you should or shouldn't be doing, what things are healthy, what things are not healthy.
Right.
And for you to have that wherewithal at such a young age is a blessing, because a lot of people, it takes them trial and error, and sometimes it can be costly. And for him to have that at such a young age is very impressive, because I didn't have that.
Can I go back to what I was saying?
I don't think you had that. I know you definitely didn't have that.
Say it again.
Why would I have trial and error on my life career in that bank account? You can't mess that up.
Ooh.
Because it could go away quick.
Right.
It needs some consistency. I'm only 21, you feel me? That's a long time I got to live.
Hey, paper route. First time ever having somebody join the show. Love y'all. See y'all tomorrow.
Definitely.